Coach and our All-Stars are making their way to the dais. While they are making their way up to the podium, a friendly reminder to please silence your cell phones. And again, we will have mic handlers on each side of the aisle. When called upon, after you raise your hand and the mic is handed to you, please state your name and affiliation before asking a question. Welcome to the 2023 MLS All-Star Game presented by Target Press Conference. We're joined today by DC United and All-Star head coach Wayne Rooney, FC Dallas All-Star forward Jesus Ferreira, as well as FC Cincinnati midfielder and captain of the All-Star team, Lucio Acosta. Coach Rooney, at this time, I'll turn it over to you to make an opening statement.
Oh, really? Okay. Welcome.
3, 2, 1.
Obviously, welcome. It's obviously an exciting time for the league, for the players to be involved in the game against a very good Arsenal team. Of course, you want to win, but I think also events like tonight are all fun for the fans to enjoy as well, and the young children to watch some of the best players in the league at different challenges. So, yeah, it's something I'm very looking forward to and excited, especially for the game tomorrow.
Awesome. At this time, we'll open the floor for questions. As a reminder, please raise your hand. Once the mic has gotten to you, state your name and affiliation. Right here to our front row.
How's it going? My name is Fabian Rankel with DirecTV Sports. My question is for Jesus Ferreira. You had a strong Gold Cup. Where do you take that momentum into the second half of the MLS or into this game? Thank you.
Yeah, I have to sit with myself, reflect on that Gold Cup, see what I did well, see what I didn't do well, what I have to learn and keep improving on, and just keep moving forward. Trying to help the team as much as I can with what I've learned from the other guys in the roster, and try to do my best.
Right here up to our front, Fernando.
Hola, Fernando Fiore. Can I do it in Spanish?
Yes.
For Luciano? I'm sorry, guys.
Thank you.
It's not a disrespect, but Luciano, primero está el All-Star Game de mañana, pero después también viene un partido que para muchos es muy esperado ahora porque va a ser Cincinnati contra el Inter Miami en la Open Cup. Como argentino, toda esta revolución que crea Messi, no solamente para el Inter Miami, pero para la MLS, ¿cómo la están viviendo los argentinos que están ya en la MLS y que posiblemente en nuestro país, en Argentina, todavía no había tanto foco? Pero ahora todo es MLS en Argentina.
Bueno, como argentino que Messi haya elegido la MLS, creo que es un privilegio. Creo que para todos estamos muy felices de poder compartir una cancha o de poder enfrentarlo, mejor dicho, a Messi. Creo que de mi parte no estoy muy contento. Vamos a jugar una semifinal en contra de Messi, donde él ha elegido este momento para venir. Pero la verdad que como argentino, como te repito, estoy muy orgulloso de que él haya elegido la MLS y creo que le va a ir muy bien.
¿Y la camiseta ya se la pediste?
La camiseta estamos ahí negociando todavía. Gracias.
We're going to go to the back, then we'll come back up to the front, and then to the second row, and then we'll go to the middle. And then I see you in the back as well.
Thank you, Alonso Contreras for Air Sport Network. This question is for Luciano. Felicitaciones por la convocatoria. Quisiera preguntarte también qué sientes de que tus compañeros de FC Cincinnati hayan sido seleccionados, pero también han sido votados por los fans que reconocen el buen trabajo que están teniendo esta temporada en la MLS.
Muy feliz de estar acá. Creo que Cuando me nombraron del All-Star sabía que otros jugadores de mi club, de Cincinnati, podían llegar a estar. Creo que estamos haciendo una gran campaña para otros jugadores poder estar. Creo que Matt y Álvaro y yo vamos a representar muy bien el club y como te dije recién, estamos muy felices de estar aquí y nada, orgulloso.
And back up here to our front, then we'll go back, middle, and back. And then I see you as well. Yes.
Melissa Reddy, Sky Sports for Wayne. What did you make of Arsenal's football last season, Mikel Arteta's coaching, and with the additions they've made this summer, Rice, Timber, and Havertz? Do you think they've made a strong claim to re-establish themselves as Manchester City's closest competitors?
Yeah, I thought they had a fantastic season last year, and I think it was probably a huge step for Arsenal. And I think the signings they've made have been really good signings for them to try and kick on and challenge Manchester City, because they'll be the favourites again to win the Premier League. And I think Liverpool will be better next season. Chelsea will be better. Hopefully Manchester United will be better as well. But I think Arsenal have made some really good signings and they will compete again.
To the second row, please, to my left.
Hi, Wayne. Sophie for TalkSport. In your managerial experience so far and seeing what Mikel Arteta has done last season, is he someone you've studied as a young coach? And if not, which are the young coaches that you like studying, and what do you think of the ceiling that he has as well as a manager?
Yeah, I think he's done incredible really to go in at Arsenal, and I think he won the FA Cup in his first season and then really pushed Manchester City last season. Still as a young coach, I think it's great to see. And I think everyone, of course, coaches have their own ways and their own styles, their own identities, and he's been fantastic, and I'm sure working with Guardiola helped him massively as well. So he's someone who that's where you want to get to as a young coach, into the top teams, obviously being English in the Premier League. And I'm going through the steps to try and do that, where Arteta's been through them steps and probably had the best training he could have got working alongside Guardiola.
And to my back right, my back left, you were next. Keep going. Back row.
Thanks very much. My question is, Pat Brennan from the Cincinnati Enquirer. My question is for Wayne. Wayne, there was really a lovely photo that was circulated on the internet yesterday of yourself and Lucio enjoying a lighthearted moment during the training session. I don't know if you would have seen it, but the point, I think, is that it was very clear there's a nice bond between yourself and Lucio. This isn't the first time you two will have seen each other, right, since you played together. But how has it been this week, reconnecting with him in this way? And I also, if I could beg you, how do you feel like Lucio has developed as a player since you two played alongside one another here in DC? Thank you.
Yeah, I was actually just trying to convince him to come back to DC. So, but no, he's fantastic. Firstly, a fantastic person and human being, and someone who has a very good relationship with playing alongside him at DC. And I think his game has developed over the years. I think he's become a better player, a more mature player. Obviously, captain of Cincinnati, and rightly so, one of, if not the best player in MLS. So I'm delighted for him with the development of his career, and hopefully for him, because I know it'll be great for him, he can get into in Europe, because I think he's got all the potential to still do that, even though he is getting a little bit older now. But I think it's always great to see him and his family, and what always gets me is, before I've played against Cincinnati now 3 or 4 times, and before the kick-off he comes up every time when I'm trying to focus. I don't really want him to, but he comes up and shakes my hand, so it's really nice.
Thank you. We're going to go to the back row, second to the back row. If you could raise your hand with the striped shirt so they can see you.
Yes, Tom Boger from The Athletic. I have one for Wayne and one for Jesus as well. Wayne, do you think, with all kind of the money that's been flying around in Saudi Arabia and some of the players who go there, do you think that the Saudi Pro League is like a threat or a competitor to MLS? And for Jesus, what are your thoughts on seeing a lot of, like, it's bigger named and some in-prime players going to the Saudi League?
If we could start with Coach.
Yeah, I think obviously there's quite a few players who have gone over to Saudi Arabia, and I think similar to MLS back in '96, it's a league which is trying to develop, and I don't know too much about it, if I'm being honest. But they're obviously putting a lot of money and a lot of effort into trying to come in and almost hijack some of the best players from around the world, and especially Europe at the minute. So. Yeah, I think it's a league which, if it stands the test of time, could grow, or it could do what China done 10 years ago and put big money in and then fade away again. So it's going to be really intriguing to see how it pans out.
Can you repeat my question? I didn't hear it.
If you could take the mic back to him to ask that question again, please.
It's interesting, you know. Obviously, me growing up, being young, looking up to those players, it's interesting seeing them and the step that they make in their careers. But obviously, that's their decision, and they've accomplished many things in their career. And so, as a fan, and as a player, I'm always gonna keep looking at their game and keep enjoying what they do.
Our next question is dead center. Then we'll go to the back, and then I see you in that corner. Right here in the center, please, and then you'll be next, and then we're going to the side and back to the center, and I see you. Yes.
Thank you. My question is for Coach Rooney. Cameron Jackson for ESPN's Anscape. You got to select quite a few players for your roster, specifically Christian Benteke, and you coach him at DC United. So how vital has he been for you at DC United, and why did you select him to be on your roster?
Yeah, no, I think since he's come in, he's been fantastic for us. I think as a player, he scored goals. I think he can score more goals as well. He's a handful. He gives us a different option in terms of how we want to play at times. So no, I've been really pleased with him, and his attitude has been first class. He never misses a training session. Wants to train every day. Wants to play every game, every minute. So yeah, I've been really pleased with him.
Actually, right behind you first has the mic, and then we'll go to you next since you have it. Nope, he has it in his hand. Please proceed.
Jose Omaña for WTOP News. Mi pregunta es para Lucio. Tú has tenido a Wayne como compañero y ahora lo tenés como entrenador por una semana. ¿Cómo ha sido él como entrenador y cómo te sientes a regresar en DC? No ahora como en la oposición, pero ahora como fanático. Ahora los fanáticos te pueden saludar y darte cantos de alegría ahora.
No puedo decir cualquier cosa que no va a entender. No, la verdad que, como él decía, tenemos una relación muy buena. He disfrutado mucho jugando con él, me he divertido jugando con él. Creo que es un gran ejemplo para mí. Creo que he aprendido muchas cosas de él. Hoy en día soy el capitán de Cincinnati y todo lo que he aprendido con él me ha servido de experiencia y para mejorar. Y tenerlo hoy como coach, decía que me quería traer a DC. pero sí, la verdad que me encanta el hecho de que él me pueda dirigir, de que él pueda estar dándome indicaciones y nada, trato de aprender día a día de él. Y muy feliz de que sea el técnico de las estrellas y volver acá a la ciudad es muy gratificante para mí. Es una ciudad que me ha abierto las puertas al país. Mi hija ha nacido acá, así que es volver a las raíces, y con los fanáticos tengo mucho cariño y el agradecimiento siempre hacia ellos es muy grande.
We have a good relationship with Wayne. I've enjoyed playing with him. Obviously, he's been a great example for me over the past years. Now that I'm a captain in Cincinnati, I've learned from his work and from everything that he's taught me over the past couple of seasons. And now to be able to be under him under the All-Star game. He has helped me. He was mentioning that he wanted me to come back to DC, and now I'm trying to learn day to day on what he's been teaching me as a coach. And the city has opened the doors for me. My daughter was born here, and the fans are always a great pleasure to see them, so it'll be exciting to see all of them.
Hi, Wayne. Jordan here from The Athletic. You were part of so many really strong Manchester United teams, but if you look at the last 5 out of 6 seasons, Manchester City have won the league, and it's become almost normal for them to record 90 to 100 points now. Look at a team as strong as Arsenal, and they still managed to finish, comfortably second in the end. How far are we away from it becoming an unhealthy level of dominance in English football?
Well, like Scotland. No, I think Manchester City have certainly raised everything. I think, and you look at Liverpool for a couple of seasons, we're really challenging them, and I think they've set a challenge for Manchester United, for Arsenal, for Chelsea, for Liverpool, and for all the teams really. And I think Guardiola's been, for me, one of the best things which has happened to English football, not just in terms of the league, but in terms of actually the English national team, because I think the coaching he's given some of the young English players before with Sterling, John Stones, Kyle Walker, has really helped them develop as players, and them, I know they were senior players in England, set up to pass that knowledge on to some of the other players as well. So yeah, there's a challenge there. I think it goes in cycles. We've seen it, throughout the years with Manchester United, Arsenal having dominance, Chelsea having dominance. Unfortunately, it's Manchester City's time, but I'm sure the teams who are going to be challenging will come back over the next few years, that's for sure.
We're going to take a question to my right.
Tom Bristow from the Mirror US and Express US. Wayne, this one's for you, mate. Todd Bowley last year floated the idea of a Premier League All-Star game. You're now here managing one. What are your thoughts on an All-Star game in the Premier League?
Sorry, could you repeat that? Sorry.
Yeah, so Todd Bowley last year floated the idea of an All-Star game in the Premier League. You're now obviously managing one. What are your thoughts of an All-Star game in the Premier League?
Yeah, I don't think it'll work. I think everything over here is different. The culture is different. It's a huge game here, but I think in England there's the rivalry between teams, between the coaches will complain about players playing too much, and I just don't think it'll work in England. And over here, it's part of this league. It's great to be a part of, but I think in England it wouldn't work.
We're going to go to the second row in the green, then we're going to go to the front row in the blue, come back to the second row in the black, and then I will hit dead center in the green shirt, and then right behind you.
I think this question for Wayne. Wayne, of course, we have the MLS All-Star game against Arsenal. The world is watching MLS right now. Messi is here, Busi, potentially Alba. I'm sure you're going to get many memories about those battles against Barcelona. Just how exciting is it to be a part of MLS right now and what the future looks like?
Yeah, I think it's the league is developing at a rapid pace, and I think getting Lionel Messi into the MLS is huge. He's a player who I've always loved playing against, watching play the game, and now I think it's going to be great for fans in the States to be able to watch him up close. And obviously with the Apple deal for the league, I think the league is developing huge, and getting Messi in I think could be a real game changer.
We can go to this front row with the blue shirt.
This question is for Jesus, and then about Jesus to Wayne, if I may. Jesus, we talked last summer about this place in your career, and you've reached great heights in MLS, and I know you want to win a trophy with Dallas, but as you look at the national team conversation, the steps you made with the Gold Cup, where do you see the next few months and years of your career taking you, and when do you decide that it's time to maybe look abroad, and how much of a stage does tomorrow's match provide, for example?
Yeah, I think everybody's dream is to be able to make it to Europe, playing a big team in Europe, and that's one of my goals. That's a dream of mine. But like you said, right now I'm focused in Dallas. I'm trying to do everything to win a trophy in Dallas and to help the team as much as I can. I think I'm in a position right now to say that I'm ready for whatever happens and whatever jump I need to make. But until then, I'm focused in Dallas and trying to do everything possible to win a trophy.
And Wayne, could you give a bit of evaluation of the player from the perspective of an opponent, now a coach? Because I think some of the U.S. fans maybe don't appreciate what he brings to the table.
Yeah, no, he's a fantastic player, and I think like all the players who are here in All-Star squad, got a lot of ability. Obviously, had a great Gold Cup and. Just has to keep working and working hard and to achieve his goals, and if he does that, then he's got a lot of potential to go and be a real top player.
We can go to the second row in the black shirt, and then again we are going to go from there to the fourth row, green shirt, right behind him in the gray shirt, and then I will go from there. I see you.
Matthew Salentano from 90 Min. For you, Wayne, just on Declan Rice, he's just signed for Arsenal, become the most expensive British player of all time. What impact do you think he can have on the club and on them trying to close that gap on Man City next season?
Yeah, I think he's a huge channel for Arsenal. I think he's a fantastic player, great mentality, young. Arsenal have got a player really who's at the top of his game, but I think he'll bring a great character into the dressing room, and I think he's a captain. I think he could be captain of Arsenal now. So I think he's a player who Arsenal needed, and they've certainly got a top player.
We could go to that center. The gentleman's raising his hand.
Hi, Wayne. Simon Stone, BBC. Just on a personal perspective, what did you think when you'd heard Johnny Evans has re-signed for Man United for a short-term contract?
I've literally just seen it just before coming here. I didn't know. So, yeah, I think Johnny's a fantastic player, and obviously he's had his injuries over the last couple of years. So I haven't seen any details of it, to be honest. So I'm assuming he's signed as cover in case there is any injuries to the centre-backs who are starting.
And if we could take it right behind the gentleman that just asked the question, he's raising his hand. And again, we'll come back over here to my right, and then we'll go back. That will probably be one of our final questions.
Thank you. Garrett Melser with FCDallas.com. My question's for Wayne. You talked a little bit about Jesus already, but he's a player that can play a number of attacking roles. How important is that versatility in an all-star game where it might be tough for all the attacking players to play in their natural spots where they do for their clubs?
Yeah, I think there's so many top players who I've got to choose from for the game, and you can put players in different positions, but I think the most important thing is, certainly for attacking players, is to go and enjoy it and play with no fear and be creative. That's what you want in the final third. You want your attacking players to be creative, and I've no doubt with the players we have in the final third, tomorrow can cause Arsenal some problems. So and I'm just as interested and intrigued as anyone else to see how it pans out and how the players actually do interact together on the pitch.
We'll take that question to my right.
Sophie, Men in Blazers. You had an exceptional record against Arsenal in your playing career, so I'm curious if you've passed along any tips or tricks from back in your playing days to your squad over the last couple of days. Thank you.
No, listen, I think I've played in the All-Star game, played a few years ago against Atletico Madrid, and the one thing you can never take away from a player is that pride and passion to play and try and win, and for the lads who are going to be playing in the game tomorrow, it's a game where they're coming up against one of the best teams in Europe. It's an opportunity for the players to show their ability against a top team, and yeah, there's not really tips I can give on how to play Arsenal and beat Arsenal as a coach, because I haven't done it yet. So if you ask me again on Thursday morning, then I might be able to tell you different.
I do want to take this question to the front because I know the gentleman in the purple hat has been waiting for a while as well, and I acknowledged him earlier. So if we could get the mic over to the front row, please.
Hi, I'm Alan from Remezcla. My question is for Jesus Ferreira. Jesus, being a player coming with a Latina background, what does it mean to be this key player in the U.S. team? And what would be your advice for any other Latino players watching to stand out in the sport?
Yeah, for me, the U.S. gave me the opportunity to represent a country. Obviously being Colombian, and that's one of my dreams was to represent Colombia. The possibility didn't happen, and I've been living here in the U.S. for more than 10 years. It gave me family, my brother, it gave me friends, and the possibility to play professional soccer. And so living here for more than 10 years, I kind of took over that U.S. pride, and the U.S. opened the doors for me to be able to represent them in every stage possible, Gold Cup, World Cup. And so I'm just honored and happy to be able to represent. And, my advice is to, the first door that closes to you doesn't mean that you have to let your dreams out. You can keep working, that another door will open.
We're going to take a question from my right, from the gentleman with the green shirt. If you could raise your hand so the mic can get to you. And then the gentleman in the black, I see you as well. We'll get to you next. Please proceed.
Hi, Wayne. Paul Hurst from The Times. You spoke earlier about Messi being a game changer. In what respect can you elaborate a little bit on that? Do you mean in terms of the quality of the league, the appeal to fans, and do you mean for attracting players to the league as well?
Yeah, I think in the exact same way Cristiano Ronaldo was in Saudi Arabia. I think the two of them are, best players of all time, the two of them, and you see the impact Cristiano's had in going to Saudi Arabia, the players now who are going out there and follow. Of course, there's a lot of money as well, which has influence, but I think they're exactly the same with Messi. I think it was important for the league to get Messi in, to show that he can compete as well against, a country and a environment which is putting a lot of money out there. So I think Messi comes, Busquets comes, you heard Suarez is coming, Jordi Alba's coming. So for Inter Miami, it's going to be very interesting to see how they fit all them in. But I think it's for the league, I think it's huge. It is.
Gentleman in the black shirt, if you could raise your hand, the microphone will get to you.
Mario Maya, El Tiempo Latino. My question is for Lucio. Lucio, ¿cómo te sientes haber sido votado por los aficionados para ser el capitán del equipo de la MLS para este Juego de Estrellas?
Ser el capitán de las estrellas, con tantos jugadores que hay, con tantos buenos jugadores, creo que es un privilegio. Me siento muy feliz. Agradecer a los fanáticos por votarme. Voy a representar muy bien a mi equipo y trataremos de dar lo mejor mañana y representar al All-Star Game.
First of all, I'm nervous. It's a privilege to be named the captain with so many great players all around in the All-Star roster. But I'm thankful for the fans to have chosen me as the captain. We know that we'll go out there and we'll do our best to win the game at the All-Star game tomorrow night.
Any additional questions for Coach or the players? To our back on the podium, the other podium.
Hi, I'm Maggie McGuigan with DC News Now. This question is for both players. I know there's a lot of excitement around tomorrow night's game, but what's it going to be like to compete in the Skills Challenge tonight, and what are you most looking forward to?
If we could start with Jesus.
It's exciting. Obviously, this is something for the fans to enjoy, and I think that the players will enjoy it too. But also there's a competitiveness in us players that we always want to win everything, and so it'll be interesting how we flip that switch very quickly.
Bueno, para mí soy un jugador muy competitivo, quiero ganar a todos. son cosas divertidas que la verdad para nosotros creo que es descontracturante. Creo que hacerlo esto es diversión, divertirnos y tratar de darle un show a los fanáticos donde también puede divertirse, y como dijo Jesús, trataremos de ganar todo.
For me, I'm very competitive. I'm a competitive player. Obviously, these are very fun things to do, and I just want to enjoy the moment and take the opportunity to showcase the fans that we want to be competitive and win the game.
We're going to go our back row. Gentleman with the black shirt, if you could just raise your hand a little higher so the microphone handlers can see you.
Hi, Simon Peach from PA's question for Wayne. You've been asked about Man City. It feels I should ask you about Man United. Just the Rashford signed a new deal today. Onana's coming in. Mount's arrived. It was a successful season. Are you more hopeful as a man with Man United in your heart that things are on the right track now?
Yeah, I think Ten Hag has done really well since he come in last season, and you can see he's trying to create a squad and a mentality with the signings he made last season, and also again what they're trying to do this year. And I think Marcus Rashford is an incredible talent. I'm delighted he's signed a new deal, and I think the next 5 years for him is going to be real important in his legacy, if you like, because he can score a lot of goals, but if he really wants to go to that level which, you know, Mbappe and Haaland are at, I think he has to be the man to get Manchester United back to winning trophies and league titles, and I hope he can do that.
Thank you again for your time today, Coach, Jesus, and Lucio. At this time, we will pause, and Arsenal will be up next for their press conference.
Thank you.
experiences in other sports, in other leagues, in other countries, and yeah, we have a group that we chat about many different topics, and for me it's really rich to understand other sports, other ways of thinking, other ways of coaching as well, and leading, which again is what we do, and yeah, it's been a big learning process for me.
Gentleman here in blue. I was wondering if Mikel or either of the players could speak on sort of the spectacle that you're part of, this experience of being in this uniquely North American thing, and whether you enjoy it, and whether you think maybe there's some things that perhaps Europe could learn from something like this, or not.
Yeah, I think it's great to be here. I think we had a great experience here last year to connect with the fans from different areas. You know, it's great to see all the love we get here, and to see different, you know, cultures. And yes, I said we had a great time here last year, and looking forward again to play in front of the fans and to connect with them, and hopefully give them a good experience with some good performances. So yeah, just happy to be here and excited to play again.
Yeah, just to add to that, I think, like Martin said, it's a really lovely experience for us to be here. We always enjoy our trips out here to the States, and to test ourselves against different opposition, you know, play in different stadiums and connect with different sets of fans. You know, our fans out here are really good and really great. All the times I've come in pre-season here, I've really enjoyed it. So now we're really excited for the games and grateful for the opportunity to be here and the love we receive. So hopefully, like Martin said, we can put on a good performance and a good show for the fans.
Okay, Mikel, do you want to say a few words about that?
Yeah, very excited. Tomorrow's experience is going to be great. It starts tonight, obviously, with all the challenges that the players have to run against each other, and it's going to be a special, very unpredictable game, obviously, because we're going to play and change a lot of players as well. But great to be invited and be part of this, and hopefully we can give something back to the fans to share.
I think a gentleman with pink had a question.
Hello everybody, this is Ferreira from Football TV and Inter Miami. For you, coach, this league is almost 30 years old, but now probably is the center of the world for many reasons, especially with Messi coming in. What's your experience prior to this, and how do you see the MLS for the last 25 years, and what do you expect to be from now on?
Well, obviously the history and the way the league has developed over the last 20 years is phenomenal. The attraction that is getting across Europe as well now, it's very different to what it is before. And now, obviously, the decision that they made to take the league much further by bringing top talent and the best ever football player in this planet, obviously is going to put the league in the spotlight. And I think it was a very clever move and something really, really good, not only for the league, but everybody that is connected to it.
Thank you, coach. Thank you. Okay, gentleman at the back with the grey t-shirt.
Thank you. My question is for the coach. I'm Conrado Giulieri, ESPN Brazil. Coach, what kind of situations you can take an advantage on this game, considering it's just your second preseason game? The rhythm is really different. Those players from MLS, they are going on, they are playing for their teams. So
hopefully the rhythm won't be different, and our rhythm will be better than theirs, and that's what we are hoping. We always want to play our way, be dominant, and it doesn't matter who we plays against. That's the attitude that we have towards it. It's very early in pre-season. We know that, and obviously the teams that we're going to be playing the next few days are going to be very different. But tomorrow is going to be a challenge. The heat is going to play a part as well, the conditions, but we have to get used to it, to win and play the way we want to play under any circumstances, and it's a great test for us.
Gentleman in the black.
Thomas Floyd, The Washington Post. This is for Martin and Eddie. Just what have been your impressions of Balogun, having the chance to play with him this preseason so far, and sort of see the way that he's grown as a player? Thanks.
Yeah, so obviously Flo's a really good player. Obviously, I'm sure a lot of Americans are excited now that he's obviously made the switch over. So And obviously we followed his progress last season. He had a really good season, so it's good to have him back. Obviously all the other boys that have come back from loan as well, it's good to reintegrate and have them back. You know, obviously they obviously want to show their qualities and impress, like we all do. So now we're really happy to obviously have him back, and you know, we wish him all the best, and hopefully he can obviously impress and help us this pre-season to win the games we have coming up.
Yeah, same. Just happy to see him do well. You know, last year in France had a great season, and he's a big talent, a boy who works hard and very hungry. You know, to improve all the time. So yeah, just happy for him, and excited to see him again in the games now, and hopefully he can do well and score some goals.
Question just behind.
Hi, question for Eddie and Martin. Sophie for TalkSport. Eddie, you stepped in last season when Jesus was injured and performed brilliantly for the team. Just wondered on a personal note what that meant to you to kind of prove yourself when the pressure was really on. And then to Martin, wanted to know what it meant to you to be made captain of Arsenal Football Club by Mikel. Thank you.
Yeah, obviously I think it's every player's obviously dream to play and to help the team. So obviously I pride myself on working hard throughout the season, you know, in the off season, and when we come in training hard. So I was really confident coming into the team that I could help, and obviously it helps when you have great players like Martin behind you to play with. So obviously yeah, I'm grateful for the opportunities obviously the coach gave me, and yeah, I'm just hungry for more. I think obviously we had a really good and successful year, not just myself, everyone developed, evolved and really contributed, and I think that's, as a player, that's the best feeling, knowing that you contributed to something, a greater good and a greater achievement. So obviously we didn't go all the way, but you know, we came close and we made a lot of progress. So we're all hungry to help and, you know, to achieve big things this season. So hopefully I can have my role and part to play in that, and obviously the team can perform and win some things together.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, great honor, and of course very proud to be named captain. Yeah, to have this trust from Mikel, from the club, and of course from the players and everyone is, yeah, means a lot to me. So it's something I'm very proud of, and something I enjoy. You know, the responsibility. I'm learning all the time and trying to improve my role as a leader. So, but very happy and very proud to do that.
Question here. In the green, yeah. No, yeah.
Coach in Spanish. Nketiah Sorena de ESPN. Coach, un poco lo que decía, el tener estas experiencias en Estados Unidos, este roce con los jugadores de MLS, los ojos del mundo puestos ahora con las nuevas contrataciones, con la llegada de Messi. ¿Cómo es visto desde fuera lo que se está haciendo en Estados Unidos y hacia dónde va esta liga?
Pues seguir creciendo, que es lo que han hecho todos estos años, creo que de una manera progresiva y súper inteligente, y yo creo que han visto ahora que era el momento de dar un paso más, han tenido la oportunidad de traer al mejor jugador de la historia y todo lo que va a llevar detrás de atención, de a nivel de formación, tanto para entrenadores como para jugadores, a nivel de estructura. Para mí es precioso que se abran las fronteras, que estos jugadores quieran venir a este país, que es maravilloso. Y que poco a poco también el fútbol vaya cogiendo el auge y la fuerza que tienen otros deportes aquí, que creo que es lo que están intentando y lo que ya han conseguido mucho en los últimos 10 años.
Okay, we'll take the last couple of questions now. Firstly from here.
Jake Nissy, Daily Mail. Mikel, Wayne mentioned earlier that he did not think the concept of an all-star game would work in England. Just generally speaking, how do you sort of view an all-star game just as an idea, and do you agree that it wouldn't maybe work out so well in England as an
For
idea?
me, as an Arsenal coach, to play against the MLS Star, great. I love the idea, I love the experience, and I think it's great. If you ask me the other way around, depending where it was in the middle of the season, probably I wasn't that happy to let a lot of players go, but I think it's great. I think it's great for the players to gather together the most talented players in the same team. I think if I was a player, for sure I wanted to experience that, and that's something that, why not in the future, it can be done.
I'm sorry, we're not going to be able to get all the questions in, so we're just going to go through the last couple there. There we go, Simon from the BBC.
Hi, Mikel. Just to clarify, Declan was on a bike.
I was surprised that nobody was asking about it.
Well, there you go. He was on a bike yesterday, and I know he came to you late. Is that an injury, or is that just getting up to speed with fitness, and is he likely to be involved tomorrow?
No, we just wanted to manage him. Obviously, a lot has happened to him in the last 5 or 6 days. He had a very hectic schedule, and he had a few training sessions that he was really good, but prior to that he didn't do much before he joined us, so we wanted to just manage him. He trained today with us, he was in good form, and yeah, he's fine.
Okay, Jordan?
Hi Eddie. Declan spoke the other day when he was announced that the two of you, when you were younger, were released at the same day at Chelsea. I just want, could you talk a bit about your memories of that, how difficult that was to overcome, and now what it's like to come full circle when he's the most expensive British player in the Premier League?
Yeah, obviously I've got a good relationship with Dec. We first played together at under-9s, so yeah, we played from under-9s to under-14s together at Chelsea, so as you can imagine, as a kid we've done a lot of games together, a lot of travelling, so me and his dad, obviously my dad and his dad were very supportive, you know, they were at every game, so you know, we started to build a bit of a relationship for that, travel tours together, so it's amazing, obviously, and as you said, we all got released on the same day as under 14. As you can imagine, it's very tough to take, and I think shows the character, obviously, that we both have to come back. Obviously, I went via the Arsenal route, and he obviously went to West Ham, so it's great, and it's funny how life works, that, you know, we're all back here and playing for Arsenal and hopefully being able to do well together and achieve. So now I'm really proud of the progress he's made, obviously seeing him as a kid and the man he's grown into now, and I'm really happy to have him here, and I'm sure he's going to help us a lot. And like I said, we all want to win together, so hopefully he can be another piece of the puzzle to hopefully bring us closer to where we want to be.
Okay.
Mario Amaya, El Tiempo Latino. Just the questions for all three of you. Having played last year up the road in Baltimore, where you guys enjoyed, where you had a lot of supporters in the stands to come watch you, how does it feel to have such a healthy support here in the DC area to come watch you, something that they don't really get, that a lot of fans don't get to do throughout the year?
Yeah, as I said before, I think it's amazing to come here, you know, and see all the fans we have here. I think for them as well, it's nice to see us play. I know the time's a bit difficult for the fans here, you know, to watch us play, and yeah, it can be difficult. So it's nice to come here and feel the love and give the supporters something back. And as I said, we want to give them a good performance. Hopefully they'll have fun tomorrow, and yeah, just thank them for all the support now and also throughout the whole season. You know, the support has been unreal for us, of course in London and at the Emirates, but also all around the world. So yeah, just grateful for all the love we get and for all the help.
Cool. And finally, we'll go to the back.
Thank you. Julia Riera from Latin American Division at Voice of America. My question is for the coach in Spanish. Me gustaría saber sus expectativas de cara al partido de mañana, sobre todo al jugar con este calor, como antes comentaba, y saber un poco cómo ve la llegada de jugadores como Messi, Jordi Alba, Sergi Busquets, y si eso puede hacer que más gente en Europa o en España, un país donde estamos locos por el fútbol, ahora sigan más a la MLS. Gracias.
Mañana el tema del calor, la temperatura, adaptarnos a eso, igual que nos tenemos que adaptar a otras condiciones cuando jugamos en otros países, forma parte del partido y de la decisión de venir a jugar aquí. Y con respecto a los jugadores que has nombrado, tanto Messi como Busi como Jordi, obviamente eso va a promover que más jugadores quieran venir y va a traer que mejores jugadores tomen la decisión de venir a esta liga, seguro.
Thanks very much, everyone. For those designated media with interviews now, please go to the positions. But yeah, thanks very much, and see you tomorrow night.
Thank you.